What's going on? Albie with Albie Fitness Gaming, and you've seen the title of the video. You know why you're here. Got my Punisher shirt on, but we're not playing Punisher Zoo today. I wish, though. Anyways, I got a new version of Domain Zoo here that I wanted to go over with you guys. I've been playtesting some of the cards that we have in this current list, and they've been doing pretty good. We've also switched the theme of the deck a little bit to becoming a little bit more aggressive, rather than using the counter spells like Stubborn Denial and Remand in the deck. So let's go ahead and go through the deck here. Alright, so we're going to stick with the same usual land, 21 lands. We got our fetch lands. I'm going to have a deck in the description box, how to build Domain Zoo. I go over why we pick what lands and why and all that stuff so that we don't have to go through it here. So here's the land, same land as probably 99% of the Zoo decks, or 90%. So let's talk about the cards. Of course, we got the cords with the Ragavans, the Wild Nacatls, the Brawlers, the Kavus, and the Scions, and Leyline Binding. Those are all core cards, Lightning Bolt, and Tribal Flames. So the added edition cards here we have are 2 Bonecrushers and 2 Lightning Helix. So all we have, and the Path to Exile. I was like, wait, I know I put in more cards. So let me separate these here so you guys can see them. Go over them. Alright, so the cards that we remove for these are going to be our Stubborn Denials and our Remands. That gives us 6 slots, which right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, and the Dromoka's Command. So we took out the 3 flex spots and then the 4 Stubborn Denials is basically what we took out. The lands are suitable for Lightning Helix. Both of our lands that we have, the Triumphs that we have, give us green and red for Kavus and red and white for Lightning Helix. So that's why we play these Triumphs as well. So let's see. So we're playing Lightning Helix. I've been testing this card here. Normally when I play test a card to see if I want to play the card in the deck, I try to play more copies than I normally would play in the deck, just so I see it more often, just so I can kind of see how it works. So I was play testing about 3 to 4 copies of Lightning Helix. Path to Exile I always left at 3, and then Bonecrusher I was playing anywhere from 3 to 4. Lightning Helix is just, a really good burn spell. It has come in really handy in a lot of matchups to gain life, to get rid of that extra creature that may become problematic. It can also go to the face and ending the game. Again, this is a really aggressive deck, and you're just trying to end the game as fast as possible. So my philosophy on it right now with this build is, rather than sitting back and trying to remand and Stubborn Denial your opponent, you're just trying to kill them. You're just trying to kill them. Even if they kill your creatures, you're fine. You have extra burn spells, and because you're playing 3 Path to Exiles, this is why I added the Path to Exiles, you're more likely going to be able to use your burn spells to kill your opponent, because now you have Path to Exile and Leyline Bindings. They can also get rid of problematic creatures without you having to use your burn spells for that. Then you have Bonecrusher. Bonecrusher is really good in this deck. Bonecrusher is a really good aggressive creature for Zoo decks because it does 2 things. Number 1, Stomp. You can use it at instant speed. It's a cheap removal spell for any creatures. You can finish off Planeswalkers. You can even go to the face to finish the game or to lower your opponent's life if you have nothing else to do. Then you can cast it, and it's a 4/3. So later in the game, it's a card that always just sits there, and it's a 4/3 body. So if you ever get in a top deck war, Bonecrusher, you always have that on the side. And another great ability that Bonecrusher has that I like is when it becomes a target spell or ability, target of a spell, it deals 2 damage to that controller. So that's relevant because, if you're burning them to the face and then you're playing Bonecrusher and then they kill your Bonecrusher, you just dealt 4 damage, with 1 card. And again, the theme right now we're going to is, rather than just playing our creatures, trying to protect them and getting and winning the game, we're just trying to rush our opponent, overwhelm them. If they kill our creatures, that's fine. They don't have to deal all the damage to kill our opponent because we are playing more spells and Lightning Helix to burn them. And then we also have Path to Exile, which is going to allow us to use our burn spells more aggressively towards our opponent. So that's kind of like the psychology behind this version of the deck, is that we're just trying to kill our opponent as fast as possible. We're not trying to play any games. We're not trying to counter anything. We're just trying to smash face. This brings us to the sideboard. So because of that, the sideboard is slightly different. If you notice, we don't play Giganta. We're trying to end the game extremely fast. We're not, again, like I said, we're not trying to waste any time here. We got Stubborn Denials in the deck because Stubborn Denial is really good in these Zoo decks. It's easy to activate Ferocious, and it is still necessary against those fast combo decks and even Tron decks, because when you're on the when you're on the draw, you do need to play these. These are really good against certain matchups. Same thing with Veil of Summer. Then we have Force of Vigor. It's a free spell. The reason we're going with this versus Wear and Tear is because it is a free spell, and like I mentioned, we're just trying to play a more aggressive style deck, so we're trying to tap out every turn to either burn our opponent, remove a creature, or play a creature, and we're just trying to continue attacking them, keeping them on their back foot. Same reason we're playing Faerie Macabre rather than Rest in Peace. Faerie Macabre, for those who don't know, it's a 3-mana 2/2 flying fairy, so we could technically cast it in our deck, but the reason we have it is that discard Faerie Macabre, exile up to 2 target cards from a graveyard. Again, this is another free spell that we don't have to tap out for. Now I know Rest in Peace can remove all their things from the graveyard, but the cool thing about Faerie Macabre is that a lot of the graveyard decks that are hard to beat and that people are playing right now only really have a few cards in their graveyards that we care about. And even when we play those Prowless decks and they use like Lava Dart or I forgot the Delirium decks, this can really throw off our opponent. They attack, we discard Faerie Macabre, remove 2 cards, block. It's a really good card, and like I said, the main reason is it's free. Because again, we're just trying to smash. I'm trying to smash, brother. And then, of course, Teferi against control matchups, and Consume All for those pesky, annoying artifact or cheap permanent decks. Well, there you have it, my friends. This is the new build of Domain Zoo that I am going to be testing out. Again, just to keep it simplified, the main things that we took out were the counter spells, more of the defensive cards, and we're going more of an offensive route with more burn spells with Lightning Helix and Bonecrusher. And then Path to Exile is a cheap removal spell that allows us to not only get rid of problematic creatures for cheap, but also frees up our burn spells so that we can go straight to the face so we can continue to be more aggressive. Well, there you have it, my friends. Here's a domain list that I'm going to be testing out and playing, and I told you why I'll be playing it and why I chose the certain cards. If you have any questions, comment at the bottom. If you have any recommendations, comment at the bottom. Let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my video. And again, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.